Welcome to the Upper West Side in New York City. I'm going to spend some time in Riverside Park today on this episode of What's That? Living Amongst Trains. Welcome to Humanity Junction, where the city intersects with humans. Just in Manhattan, there are a lot of different trains that run daily throughout the city. From the IRT, BMT, and PATH train subway lines, to the Metro North, Long Island Railroad, and New Jersey Transit commuter lines, to the longer distance Amtrak train service. Today I wanted to see if I could catch any of the trains that pass through Riverside Park. I'm currently on 105th Street on the west side of Manhattan. I am near the 105th Street Dog Park, and in the summer, there's also an outdoor cafe. But as I look around with the camera, you cannot immediately see any railroad tracks. So where do we need to go to find the trains? First, a little more information about the landscape in this area. At the top of the hill is Riverside Drive, and at the bottom of the hill is the West Side Highway and the Hudson River. In the middle is an asphalt promenade. The transition from Riverside Drive to the promenade is really steep, and then the transition from the promenade to the lower level is a straight drop. So where are the trains? If we walk along the promenade, there are several large grates. This is where we get our first glimpse of the railroad tracks, and this is also our first view of the Freedom Tunnel. Looking through the grates, we could see a sign identifying the location as 105th Street, as well as some graffiti on the walls. I've always found it really interesting that Riverside Park is built on top of a train tunnel, and that we are walking above it right now. Let's head down the stairs towards Hudson Beach and take a closer look at the tunnel. As a rail fan and not an urban explorer, I will not be going into the Freedom Tunnel, but I will be following the tracks and show you different places that we can see into the tunnel, as well as the exit on 124th Street. If you are interested, there are a lot of other videos on YouTube of people exploring the tunnels. The way the park is designed, you barely notice the trains as they pass below your feet. Our next stop is a service entrance near 96th Street. Through the gates, we can see additional graffiti. On the service platform in the corner, someone has set up a place to sleep. Let's jump on my bicycle now and head up to 124th Street through Riverside Park, where the trains exit the tunnel. From the Wikipedia description, the Freedom Tunnel is the name given to the railroad tunnel on the West Side Line under Riverside Park in Manhattan, New York City. Currently used by Amtrak trains to and from Pennsylvania Station, it got the name because the graffiti artist Chris Freedom Pape used the tunnel walls to create some of his most notable artwork. The name may also be a reference to the former shanty towns built within the tunnel by the homeless populations seeking shelter and freedom to live rent-free and unsupervised by law enforcement. The tunnels run approximately 2.6 miles from 72nd Street to 124th Street. There was a book that came out in 1995 called The Mole People: Life in the Tunnels Beneath New York City that told the stories of the people that lived in this tunnel. At 124th Street, the closest that I could get to the tunnel exit without trespassing is from across the West Side Highway. The West Side Highway, the rail tracks, and Riverside Drive parallel each other up the west side of Manhattan. Here's a photo of the graffiti at the tunnel entrance. As I travel north, you can see some buildings that surround the rail tracks. I wonder if these warehouses used to receive freight from the trains that pass by. I am now at approximately 132nd Street in Manhattan. This is the closest that I can get to the rail tracks, but I do not have a good view to set up the camera, so I continue north. It is here at 139th Street in the west side that I find an overlook that gives me a good view of the trains heading north out of the city. I'm going to set up my cameras here. Just as I'm getting set up at 3:50 p.m., I see a train coming. This is Amtrak Locomotive 716. After the train passes, I continue setting up so that I'm more prepared for the next train. Railfanning is a bit like fishing, sitting and waiting for the next fish to come along. The next train at 4:50 p.m. is Amtrak Locomotive 711. If you can identify these locomotives, please leave a comment below. These passenger trains are the Amtrak Empire service on the West Side Line heading north via Albany to Toronto. This train line currently stops at Penn Station on 34th Street, but the rails used to continue downtown and can now be seen as part of an elevated park called the High Line. This line was originally built by the Hudson River Railroad in 1849 and extended to Albany in 1851. If you like these series of videos, please let me know. As I head back down the Hudson Greenway on the west side, I'm going to stop for one final photo. This is a really beautiful spot in the city that I like to come and watch the sunset. Thank you for watching. Please leave any comments or questions below, and don't forget to hit the thumbs up. Please subscribe and select the bell icon to receive notifications. Thanks again, and have a great day.